evening, everybody. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. Get approval of the agenda for the open session tonight? Anybody in favor? Any disclosures of interest? Hearing none. We have no delegations. And question period.
No questions.
We got no questions here. Okay. Minutes of the previous meeting. Resolution 289-22. Moved by Councillor Sales, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held October 25th, 2022 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes. Resolution 290-22. Moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council approved the expenditure request and approval to proceed from the Ontario Clean Water Agency for Schreiber water treatment chemical drum pump replacement in the amount of $1,490.24, including applicable taxes. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 291-22, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Stefuric. The council approved the expenditure request and approval to proceed from the Ontario Clean Water Agency for Schreiber wastewater clarifier drain and inspection in the amount of $7,555.68, including applicable taxes. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 292-22, moved by Councillor Sales, seconded by Councillor Morrow. The council approved the expenditure request and approval to proceed from the Ontario Clean Water Agency for Schreiber wastewater shop tools in the amount of $1,500, including applicable taxes. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 293-22, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Stefuric. The council accept the quotation from New Steel Door Systems in the amount of $5,543 plus applicable taxes for a new Olympia overhead door. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 294-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric. The council accept the quotation from Bruno's Contracting in the amount of $5,060 for the supply and delivery of Permapatch. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 295-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor Morrow. The council renew the Cascile Hiking Trail and the Schreiber Beach Tourism Directional. Renew the Cascile Hiking Trail and Schreiber Beach Tourism Directional Signage Program for the year 2023 in the amount of $1,520 plus applicable taxes. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 296-22. Moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath. That the council accept the quotation from Eco Supply in the amount of $1,600 plus applicable taxes for a Can-Arm U16-1 fan and that the purchase be funded through the Fire Equipment Reserve. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 297-22, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Sales. The council accept the quotation from Cole Darling Limited in the amount of $9,535 plus applicable taxes for parts and labor to repair heating at the library, the arena, and the Public Works garage. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 298-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath. That council authorize the write-off of property taxes in the amount of $3,267.31 for the following property tax accounts: 5851 00000208900, 5851 00000109301, and 5851 00000109700. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 299-22, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Sales. The Council of the Township of Schreiber support Resolution 2022-273 of the Municipality of East Ferris with respect to the child care workforce shortage in Ontario. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Accounts for payment. Resolution 300-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, that bank debits paid out of the general bank account in the month of September 2022 in the amount of $35,187.61 be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 301-22, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Sales, that checks issued on the general bank account in the month of October 2022 in the amount of $668,463.74 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 302-22. Moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of October 2022 in the amount of $58,793.44 for payroll be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 303-22. Moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that Resolution 172-22 be rescinded in its entirety. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 304-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council accept the quotation from Gincor Trucks in the amount of $32,730 plus applicable taxes for a replacement L45 Viking hopper spreader for attachment to the sander/plow truck. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 305-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that bylaw 47-2022 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement between the Corporation of the Township of Schreiber and the Federation of Canadian Municipalities for asset management program development MAMP 17509 be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
It was good to see this contribution agreement finally come in. We've been waiting for it for a while. Project end date is actually aimed at December 14th, so came pretty close.
I'll sign it after. Okay, that ends the council portion of the meeting. The committee of the whole, department reports, treasurer report, property tax write-offs.
Recommendation from the treasurer that council authorize a write-off of property taxes in the amount totaling $4,422.97 for the following accounts: 58510000209800, 58510000, 315004, 5851 0000315 and 5851
Okay, we okay with that? Okay. Director of Operations report, status report.
Tammy, that CLI ECA approval, what exactly does that mean?
That was a new program that the ministry came out with, replacing individual ECAs that gives you permitting for any underground infrastructure concerning water, sewer, stormwater, that sort of thing. So we were approved for our sewer collection system, but we're having a little bit of problems with our storm sewer. Because we don't have detailed drawings of that system. So I'm still working with the ministry on that. They have not yet told us that we have to have engineered drawings, but I suspect that might be something that they propose. But in the meantime, we're still working through it. I do have a set of drawings, they're just not signed or dated.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The CLI actually stands for Consolidated Linear Infrastructure. So it's gradually replacing ECA. Maybe that's a better answer to your question, Dan. Sorry.
So the $60,000, can we have like a couple options that we could look at on what to do with it? Maybe some landscaping options. Your option is, I mean, I like that option as well, just to have it there. But could we get some quotes and stuff because when do we have to spend that by?
Ideally, we want to spend it
Before we open, or?
Exactly. I mean, you want to, even if you're going to be doing any sort of work,
Yeah.
I would recommend that it's all actually done towards the pavilion side, just because you don't want to disrupt the playground side. I know that people have already been waiting a while for that, so
So the one thing about, so I was down there, the one thing about the playground side, you think that grass is gonna grow? Or should we spend some money now and get some sod? And get it down before the snow comes?
it may be best possibly getting the sod at this point, and if you want to get sod as an option for this.
It's just, it's looking bleak for the grass down there.
In front of them 3 benches, dude?
Yeah, like around the park, all the spots where...
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I was talking to the guy and he said what doesn't grow, they're gonna reseed in the spring.
That is correct. We're also planning to, actually, it's on Patrick's agenda for tomorrow or Thursday. We're going to throw some extra seed down so that we get it underneath the snow, and it'll give it a good kickstart in the spring.
Okay,
See how things are.
okay, and then just go from there, okay. 'Cause I mean, ultimately, if grass never grows, that's an issue.
There was a challenge with that area in the past, and part of the issue is, it doesn't have a sprinkler or irrigation
Yeah.
system in that area.
So my school has that same issue, and we have fake turf everywhere, and it looks really nice. It's expensive,
Yeah.
but it's not $60,000 expensive. It's something that could slot in there pretty easily because it's not a lot of space, really.
But sprinklers would be available in the spring, would they not?
Sprinklers, like to put a system in?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's water service there, I mean.
It would have to be something, I don't know if you could get that, I don't know what options you'd be at in that kind of pricing for the 60,000 available, but we had looked at it initially in the project scope, and it was working out a bit expensive, but
Well, I mean, you could do a considerable amount of sprinkling just by laying down some garden hose, can you not?
possibly, yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
It's not a real big area.
Oh, to grow the grass.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a sprinkler system.
Sprinkler system.
That's what he thought too.
No, just.
Like a soaker hose.
Okay.
Yeah, just for watering the,
Yeah.
seems simple enough.
I've had some conversation, and I was looking at, we have no and I'm not even sure if it fits. It's got to fit the grant, and we have no garbage bins for down there in the new park area. So I was looking at five or six garbage bins at approximately $6.50 a bin.
Those bear bins you're talking about?
No, I'm not talking about the bear bins.
No.
Uh,
5 or 6 seems like quite a few.
Not for that big area. Okay, 3 or 4. And a composite bench. And I would suggest we scope out what kind of pavilion we want. Nathan's been looking at them, I've been looking at them. To pour the pad, we're gonna have to know what's going on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So once we decide on a pavilion, we can pour the pad. But you can't pour the pad until you decide, because
That's true. Another suggestion then for this 60 grand, sitting down there, there's very little shade. And so I'm thinking in the summer, until there is somewhere like a pavilion to get out of the sun, there's nowhere for a kid to like go sit in the shade and drink a bottle of water or something. So if there's any sort of options that way that we could look at, that would be ideal as well. Because, yeah, that's just going to be beaming in the sun the entire day. It's going to be hot down there.
yeah, no,
So
that's a
some
good
sort of
idea.
shade options that kind of fit the look and everything of down there would be, I think, a good idea.
Anyway, we got time on that one anyway, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, roughly, whatever we want to do, come by May next year, we'll have winter to plan what we want and look into some procurement. My only suggestions are, if you're looking for a grant, to have this covered under a grant, try to think of bigger purchases, because again, if you're trying to budget separately for smaller things, it's something you may be able to do in your regular budget. But for a bigger item that you want to purchase there, this grant's probably gonna be the easiest way to do it, right, so.
And it has to be, again, just so it'll have to be spent by May approximately.
W- Exactly. Right now, we're working on finalizing the timelines for the extension for this with Bednor and NOHFC. But they've indicated to us that there is no real rush for this. So
Okay, good.
we may have that flexibility provided they give us that extension, which is expected. But
Okay. Number 3. The FSPA report.
a recommendation here that council renew the Northwest Superior Travel Association LSCT CDN advertising program for the year 2023 in the amount of $500 excluding applicable taxes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Sounds good with that.
Yep.
Perfect.
Fair amount, eh?
And it did an excellent
Decent.
job tying in together a lot of tourism assets around here under one banner.
Yeah.
Number 4, bylaw enforcement officer report. Again, I think we're gonna have to go in camera on a few of them next meeting.
The new bylaws?
Pardon?
Yeah, okay.
For specific investigations, yeah. Do a closed meeting,
Yeah.
debrief.
These new bylaws, is that, just updating, the last three bylaws on this report? Will there be any major changes there?
Not necessarily from the enforcement standpoint, but what we do have to look at is just tidy up the bylaws, make sure that they are enforceable when it comes to, again, what courts are willing to uphold, and that's ultimately what we'll do, make them as simple as possible, right? Sometimes it's complex and tidied up, keep it clean, and
So just modernizing the bylaws and things.
yep, make sure it's easily readable, people can understand,
Yeah.
and we can understand and interpret how to enforce it well, and
When, you got any timeline working on these bylaws like that last one? So I've had a few complaints about that.
ATV bylaw.
Yep.
I can certainly work on prioritizing that if that's something you would like to see, so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Specifically, do you have any major concerns with ATVs?
They're going all over
Noise?
town.
Okay.
They're driving all over town like a car or a motorcycle, and they shouldn't be. I'm getting that complaint at least once every 2 days.
Yeah, doesn't the bylaw read they can use a street to get to a trail? Isn't that what it says?
Oh, I'll have to.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure
think we'll
that's
have
what
to
it
look
is.
at.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all done with that one. Number 5, rec minutes for the October 12th meeting.
Yeah, a couple things there on the geocaching project, we'll complete that next year. Heritage Days, the financials aren't complete on that yet. Still working towards finalizing one of the grants. The eligibility for some of the expenses on one of the grants, so that's ongoing. and the report will be available when that's completed. The EDLA band, we talked about that performance on July 30th. Wasn't really good attendance at that one. It's the weekend following Heritage Days. So that was probably a factor for attendance. Also depending on attendance from people that were in town for the drag races, and that never happened. So it was kind of a learning experience for us on having something so close to Heritage Days back to back. The Halloween skating party, I think that went pretty good. I don't know if anybody attended, but I think there was 50 to 60 people that came, and one of the local businesses donated a treat bag. Doug, I donated gifts.
Yeah, $50 gift card.
So it went over pretty good. And also we were notified that our recreation programmer is off. So that's about it.
Any questions on that, guys? Hearing none, we'll go to number 6, the Schreiber Library Board meeting minutes, September 21.
Any questions? Okay.
And number 7, OPP Township of Schreiber second quarter report.
I didn't see any big changes year over year.
No, I didn't either.
Not likely. Still living in a safe community, I would say.
Okay, we'll move on to communications then. Just to mention at number 1, the more homes build faster plan. It's a bit of a read. I guess that's a new counselors coming on, we can make them read that, its entirety.
Yeah.
Twice.
Memorize it.
In terms of the provincial legislation, it made a few changes again with regard to housing and specifically policy changes to implement more affordable housing. It has a major impact in Southern Ontario, but I did touch base with the planner, and we were in discussion about possible changes to our zoning bylaw and official plan based on that. As you may have heard, they're allowing 3 units now for each single-family dwelling. So I'm just going to have to touch base again with the planner and take a look at what changes we may have to make with our zoning and get that eventually all updated.
What I read in there was, it's trying to reduce a lot of barriers to building.
Yeah.
And here, it's not a real problem. We don't have a real problem to generate growth in our community. So, which is a good thing.
we're already quite flexible, you know, with a single-family residence here. We allow basement apartments, and again, granny suites are allowed as per zoning, so shouldn't have too much of an impact. And in terms of development charges, we have none, so.
Yeah.
Just gotta go over it and identify what we need, what we want, get after them.
Yeah. And again, it's a unique situation. The last time we did have a delegation and talked to ministry on this, a unique situation where housing here is going up, but it's still at too low a rate to be to incentivize developers. So it continues to be a challenge, especially if we want the private sector to build new homes here.
And that was number 3, is good to see the Cascal Mount Gwyn report.
As it was certainly good news, and it did take quite some time to get that organized. So it was really an excellent job by the Cascal Trail.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, there used to be, I don't know, I can't remember how long ago that was, 50 years or so. We put a wind test tower up on top of Mount Gwyn. You could actually see it from town.
Yeah.
And over the years, it was deteriorating. Parts of it had broken off the top and were hanging on cables. And for hikers, it was a real eyesore. Not only an eyesore, but it was a safety concern. So we, with municipalities' help, working with the Cascal Hiking Trail, contacted the owner of the tower and made a plan to take the tower down and wrap it all up and cut it all up and get it out of the way. So it's not only not an eyesore anymore, but it's not a safety hazard. And then the owner of I must say that the owner of the tower was very cooperative. So it went pretty quick once we got talking to him and come up with a plan. It was in, and it was done. So
Financially too, right?
what's that?
There's a financial benefit.
Yeah,
also.
there was a benefit to the hiking club as well. So they were able to generate some revenue from taking the tower down safely, I might add.
And number 4, I always say we should support that resolution. They're in our sector.
I agree.
Township of Dorian one. Everybody on board with that one?
Good.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we'll move on to unfinished business, Township of Schreiber Christmas Social. So we go with the planner.
Still filling in the blanks with some of the costs, but we will have to move on everything real quick.
Okay, who's gonna be doing the hall setup and all that? The decorating and whatnot?
Council typically does that.
True.
Past tradition.
That's a thing.
Who's got, okay, I probably don't have a problem with decorating, but who's got the decorations?
I think we'll be getting a few basic things. That quote we got for decorations, does it only cover just the tables, or is there a bit?
I would, so
the last I was informed, there wasn't a quote on decorations. We were waiting for that. That was one of the outstanding
Oh,
things.
okay.
That usually from
But
Edith?
generally, we did get a quote for, because there's decorations is one aspect, there's tablecloths, napkins, centerpieces would be another aspect. Generally, it is council, staff, volunteers or staff that dress the tables. And yeah, that would be done, I would say, yes, probably Thursday, either Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening to get that done.
Is anybody before us? Is there any Christmas parties before us?
There is a potential one on the Wednesday.
Maybe they could leave up their decorations, whoever they are.
They're not getting any.
They are not decorating.
No, they're not. What's that, Tammy?
They're not getting any decorations.
Oh,
Is the mill doing it? Don't they usually do two?
They're not doing it.
it's not the mill then.
That's a shame.
Yeah, usually I DD for the mill party. I haven't heard anything.
No, I got no problem with decorating as long as we got stuff.
We were just waiting on a final, a number and ideas. I think that is soon to be here. And then make a plan on how to execute it. I'm sure it's gonna be all hands on deck, really and truly. I know that, what we did find out was that the individual was not available to do the decorating. So on the one hand, that means that there's more work for us, but it would be less expensive because you're not paying for the, put up a discount. Right.
Okay, anybody else got any questions on it?
I just was curious why there's only 2 quotes for dinner? The only 2 people wanted to quote for dinner? Or-
Yes. There was 1, 2, 7 that were sent out.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I mean, yeah, like,
And those are all out of
Okay.
town, Cecile?
Just-
Some of them were.
I was still on the planner.
sorry, that is on the planner.
Hey?
Part of the thing.
No, I was gonna make a suggestion. I don't even know if this is on the planner. Do we have to stick with the Santa Claus gifts? We gotta stick with the gifts. That's just my
It's post-COVID, you
personal
can do
opinion.
whatever you want.
Eh?
I said it's post-COVID, you can do whatever you want. No one remembers what it used to be.
I mean, some people bring gifts, some don't.
I say no, scrap it,
One way or the other, I guess it don't bother me though. Why don't we just
scrap it.
Yeah.
scrap it?
Yeah.
No, we can't.
Everybody
Not
sitting
Santa
around
Claus.
watching Santa Claus dance around and
Get our money's worth out of the DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, the last Santa Claus wasn't very good.
no, I'm not saying that. I want a Christmas present.
I heard he was handsy.
Hmm?
I heard the last Santa was handsy.
But I mean, they gotta
Like
know
Roper.
that before they send out their invitations too, so.
True. And we will
I had
include
fun
the
doing
donations
it.
for the food bank.
Oh, definitely the food. You okay to scrap Santa Claus gifts then?
Scrap Santa too.
Bah humbug.
No,
Bah humbug. Mayor McScrooge over there.
okay. Sorry, Dave, no, go ahead, to dinners.
Yeah, I was just shocked that there was only 2 quotes, that's all. So I guess you answered
When was
my
the
question.
deadline? So the deadline's over for the quotes now?
Yes.
So we have to make a choice?
Yeah, it's getting closer every day.
Well, I vote the local person.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I'm on board with that.
Me too.
price is basically the same, so.
Actually, the price is probably cheaper
Yeah.
to put in the travel.
Yeah,
and
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was just sad to see only one local
Yeah.
quote is kind of the thing. Sucks.
But you can always depend on Bree.
Pardon?
I said you can always depend on Bree.
Yeah, we sent out seven invitations.
It's crazy.
Okay, so we're good with that? Okay, I know it's not on the agenda, but I just personally and from the rest of the council and staff would like to thank Doug and Doug. I mean, it's your last meeting and everything. and Sorry to see you guys go, but
My
that's
It's
the
been
way
a
it
slice.
goes.
It's been a slice.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you very much for your service for the last 4 years for Doug and for stepping up, Doug, when we needed you to step in.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Everybody here does. So thanks.
I still like to help out with some of the committees.
Well, you're more than welcome to throw your name in on the committees.
I will.
I got you on speed dial, Doug.
Yeah, okay.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay, with that, what are we, resolution 306?
Yeah.
306-22. Moved by Counselor Sales, seconded by Counselor McGrath, that the meeting now adjourned.